Like, we don't sing the good news stories enough for people that are maybe the older generation that don't take hospitality seriously as a career, seeing on the news and going, all right, we'll go and train and be a doctor and go and train and go and get a trade, go and be a lawyer. No one's really going, go and work in hospitality. And you should. Like, we were at the 10th anniversary of apprenticeships a couple of weeks back. Maureen Heffernan has, been working on, like you say, for a decade now. And it was incredible because our industry offers apprenticeships where you can learn, qualify, but be doing it in your role and actually have a job at the end of it. It's not some fuddy-duddy certificate that you've got to go and figure it out after. You are getting a career and you get to enjoy something that's hands-on. You can be practical and on your feet, so you're not just sat down. We go for a run quite a lot because we find ourselves behind a computer. You need to stay energetic to keep your kind of cogs up here working in the right way. And there's so much to shout about having a career in hospitality.
Welcome to Captive Conversations, brought to you by Captive Wi-Fi. I'm your host, Adam Foreman. This podcast brings you the best stories from suppliers, marketers, and operators from our beloved hospitality sector. Now, let's get on with the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 88 of Captive Conversations. We have Alex and Chloe from the Opportunity Co. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
We've spoken loads and had some hilarious times. I think probably the most fun was the karaoke in the console. That was insane.
I don't remember it.
Well, there were a lot of people calling out, to be fair.
It's been filmed, I believe, somewhere.
I honestly...
It was terrifying to see it on LinkedIn.
No, I didn't see the video. Did you save some of the videos?
No, but we spoke to Steve, didn't we?
He put a compilation together.
Did he?
Yeah.
I have to email him and ask him to have a look at that. It was so good. But I saw people crawl, people were there from 10 until gone at 11.
Yeah, it's a great event though.
Yeah, it is insane. So the event itself was amazing. So lots going on. But okay, so let's start. So we had Tom Stanley, who came on last week. And he had two questions. His first question, culturally for the team, what do you feel was the most important thing for them, and how do you best proactively get them engaged?
Culturally, hey.
It's very now.
It's very now. It's a very trending word, isn't it? Culturally, look, hospitality is all about people, and we're all people, so we all understand that we want to be heard, we want to be listened to, we want to be valued. So trying to find ways where everyone can have a voice and be considered as part of the decision making. Immediately, if you feel like you're part of that conversation before something happens, you're going to be brought into it far greater. And if your team are behind whatever it is that you're doing, any of the objectives that your company is running by, your guests are going to feel it more authentically. So, yeah, I guess that would be my answer.
Yeah, it's like buy-in, I guess, isn't it? It's the buy-in. If you can get your staff buy-in, and then everyone's living the dream.
Yeah, no one just wants to be told.
No.
If you walk into rooms like, this is what we're doing, this is how it goes, off you go, then we're working with robots. And hospitality is far from working with robots.
I think those brands end up having less retention, let's just say.
Yeah.
So,
paying the best doesn't mean you're going to get the best.
No, that's really interesting, actually. That's a really good point. That's a good snippet. I think you're right. I remember years ago when national wage went up again, but years ago, we had a salad place that we worked with down the road, and he was like, right, I'm done. I'm just going to it was a Baker Street near the gym. I'm going to spend more money, like a lot more money, and get people in. And it wasn't the people missed the normal people that were there, because they had already built relationships with them. The new people came in, were good workers, but we missed the heart, really.
I think it's all about, people say it's how do you get them in, but actually the people that are in are the reason you'll get more people in.
Yeah.
So you've really got to nurture the teams that you've got.
Yeah.
To be able to keep growing.
I agree. I like that. Thank you. Okay. Number two. As an industry, what can we do better to lobby our government and ensure positivity in hospitality is better felt?
Right.
Political question.
We're not politicians by any stretch of the imagination.
But you could be. You just need to build be a lobbyist.
Get
hospitality.
Well, we were in Parliament.
I think
it's a step closer.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I think the bit that stands out for me is that there's lots of great bodies representing the industry, and it's such a segmented industry. Like, we talk hospitality, but then you've got hotels, bars, late night bars, pubs, casual dining. Like, if they all just grouped together, linked up, had one message, and a strong message, perhaps that would go
Yeah,
a little
more
further
power.
than many smaller voices.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. It's a shame there isn't a single. There is a UK hospitality, right? It is a single body, but
Yeah.
it's different. They had their own struggles. But you're right. It'd be good to have like I don't know, 3 of each of the big boards together, just in one room, to make some power.
But
Which is
also, there's a lot of people that work in hospitality, so it's not just about taking the heads off
Yeah,
and getting them to have a voice. It's about everyone's voice,
Yeah.
and finding ways to get the support of the many.
yeah.
I think is.
Could you imagine the petitions that you could probably get fairly quickly if all the brands talked to each other?
Yeah.
Because you need 100,000 to be spoken to for a petition in government, right?
Yeah.
I think it's 100,000. I think it
Yeah.
is. That's like a blink in the eye of hospitality. You could probably get something like 3.2 million people who work in hospitality if everyone joined together
Yeah.
to be in that. And then every week there would be something in Parliament talking about
Yeah.
So it's actually an
sick
interesting
of us.
point. Yeah, well, it's interesting. Like if you look at it, I mean, wow, the amount. Look at the bigger groups. They employ so many people. So I think you're right. But it's an interesting point. I think. Yeah, it's hit me a question. I didn't even think about what you just said.
I think everyone, and going back to the first question actually about how do people feel like they're valued and they've got a voice. Knowing that you're part of something bigger is really important. Everyone gets up and goes to work, but for what reason? There's loads of different drivers. And actually, I think as you're going through your career path in hospitality, knowing that the industry is something that you can also contribute to on a wider scale, as well as in your kind of day in, day out, is actually really empowering. And we need to empower the kind of people coming in on sort of the junior roles that are going to be climbing the ladder, because they'll be the decision makers soon. So I think the sooner they're involved in these bigger conversations and these more kind of political debates and, get into that lobbying, the better.
I think there needs to be a movement. I think the movement started today.
Yeah.
I think you might have started a movement.
Oh, no.
To be honest with you. I've got enough stuff to do. Don't add that to my play as well,
Not
please.
yet. No, you
But seriously, I think I think it definitely. I feel like I'm building a website tomorrow and popping on there and getting people to, what's your challenge? What do you want to submit? And it builds a thingy. So
Well, everyone's quick to moan, aren't they? So you just got to find a way to
100%.
get them to moan in the same place.
a moaning website. Great idea. So I'll try the WhatsApp marketing group and see what happens from
Let's
next.
do it.
All right? Yeah. But okay, amazing. So we're on to the standard questions. You can feel free to split who wants to do what question. So the first one is best hospitality experience.
Go on, I'll let you take this. He's the most critical.
I am quite.
It can be a
critical.
good or a bad experience, because some people have given us a bad experience that's actually turned out interesting.
I'm quite an avid festival goer, so having a hospitality ticket for Glastonbury and getting a shower is amazing. That is why.
Yeah, because you've been there not being in the shower.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, yeah. I went with Chloe. We had no choice.
Yeah.
I
had
shower.
no choice.
Yeah.
So we had showers, and the.
Were you still
it's a game
camping, but then
changer.
had showers, or were you glamping?
No, I'm not afraid to camp, but I
Okay.
just want to make sure, when you're having a few beverages, you
100%.
need to shower that off to be able to do day 2,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
No, I agree, 100%.
So I mean, there's
100%.
no molten brown in them or anything. There's no fresh towels waiting for you when you walk in. But it's just
There's no one giving you hand towels as you walk out, right?
Jokes aside,
Yeah.
I've been going to Glastonbury for probably 20 years ish, maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
And the way it's evolved and recognised the needs of its guests, I suppose, over the years has been quite, it's been quite a massive change. The first time I went, it was literally
Mudfest.
big holes in the ground.
Yeah.
And it's evolved, posh toilet, showers,
Yeah.
hospitality side.
I mean,
the food that they're delivering in the middle of a field is amazing.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
recommend
amazing.
it.
I actually met someone the other day who works for some people who do the they call it glamping. And I was like, oh, like glamping. She goes, it's not glamping. These tents are like, like a hotel.
Yeah.
It's like proper. It's. And I was like, how much? And she showed me that. And I sort of like fell off my chair a little bit, but it's insane. She was literally going to like a VIP hotel experience, and then you go out and you walk
Chandeliers in them. And...
Yeah, literally, it's like like I'm surprised they're not like carrying you around Glastonbury, to be honest with you, and that sort of stuff.
I mean, you can get that experience.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
They carry you around.
You see someone who's very high, they'll carry you around, to be honest you. But that's interesting, actually. Yeah, I like that as a one. Okay.
I think on the opposite side of things,
go on.
though, because you've kind of gone to that, like the festival, and actually you've done Muddy Boot style festival. I mean, you can go to the basics. I was not prepared to do that. I really wanted some fineries. But there was an amazing experience, actually, and a company that do many things well is the Ritz. And we went for afternoon tea once, and actually a table next to us had a situation where the tea was knocked over. I have never seen action
By one of the waiters.
by one of the waiters. So the waiter accidentally knocked this tea over on this lady.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it spilled on her. You know, it was so slight if it did.
Yeah.
But they were in straight away. The person that did the spilling stepped out.
Yeah.
And their other head waiter stepped straight in to handle the situation, to the point where, you know, after a few minutes and they'd cleaned everything up and she was absolutely fine with everything, they were saying, we'll get your dry cleaning, and they were handling all just those extra miles.
Points.
Yeah. Now they've obviously thought it seemed that they had just visited and it was a special occasion and that they weren't from London. So the likelihood of them sending their things down to use their laundrette to get everything sorted is very slim.
Well, I mean, I would have just, I'll stay in the hotel for 9. It's fine.
Oh yeah, that would have been an extra special token. But it just showed the attention to detail, at realising the impact of, you know, even if there's a mistake, we'll fix it.
Yeah.
And actually, when you do make mistakes, that's when you can gain extra buy-in and extra loyalty from your guests.
Yeah.
And
I guess on this occasion, it wasn't just the guest that had experienced or had the bad experience either. We experienced it.
Yeah.
We sat near and were impressed with their guest service.
Well, it's actually put a smile on probably put a smile on your face of like, wow, that's impressive of how they've done it. It's interesting when you see stuff like that work in hospitality.
Makes you feel really safe. And I actually think there's other brilliant businesses out there that do that, and you don't even realise that they're making you feel safe. Is when you're taking guests to a venue and you know that your guests are going to have a good time. And I think certainly on the corporate side of things, when you work in sales, you're always, you know, speaking to the lead booker, and, you know, someone's been given the responsibility to book on behalf of the company. There's a pressure. So if you're actually able as a business to kind of confirm that even if things go wrong, we've got it handled, you're in safe care.
I have so many questions for you that aren't on this list about that generally. So you just teed it off of like people have asked other questions in the past of, especially on the event side and the corporate side. But we'll talk about that in a bit, because you just reminded me to ask you some questions. So which I didn't give you. So you said to me, Annie, don't give me the hard questions.
I'm going to go back to being a mute now.
Okay. Next question is best hospitality tech. It can be something you've experienced or something you've used, and it's difficult because you've got lots of people you work with. But...
Well, we're also talking to you, who's Mr. Tech. I tell you what, I'll start with a piece of tech that I think worked really well. We had a client that was independent, very light on budget, needed to really give something extra to the experience they're offering. Now, you know, we love music. We're big into it. Musical theatre, jazz, live music of any kind. All of it, all the jazz hands. Gig Realm were fantastic as a piece of tech to bring in that helped where there was such a lean team with no real experience on entertainment programming, you know, music programming of any sort. You were able to navigate their piece of tech really easily, really seamlessly, and build up a bit of a profile for your business at being able to create different sessions with with all the array of musicians they had at their disposal. And it just worked. It was easy. And I think that's what we always need to go back to. I'm sure many people have said it, you know, it needs to be easy for the guests, but it needs to be easy for the team as well. Whenever you're putting tech into a business, you can have the all singing, all dancing system, but it's only going to be as good as the person who's using it. So that's why, you know, there's not one perfect tech stack out there that's right for every single business, because everything's slightly different. So we need to be dynamic. Yeah. But that one piece worked well.
I think part of the success with them was the support that they gave us as well. Like, there is plenty of like systems out there that are actually really good, but the support is terrible. So the system gets a bad name. I mean, I'm sure you can think of a few. And then, you know, a few big ones.
I'm agnostic. We like everyone.
But you know, I think it's a shame that some get undervalued because of the support that you get, because they are good systems. And once you get your head around it.
Is this one more over, you've got a space, you haven't got someone who can manage all the bookings, you don't have the roster of people, but so you haven't a stage, for example, and you need to fill that stage with either DJs, live music, events, whatever it is, and what they just manage the whole thing for you?
You can go into the back end and select based on music profiles. Wow. So you can you do your search as you need to, but once you kind of had one or two different acts come in, you can favorite them. So then you can start building up a bit of consistency around who you're having in, whether it be on like a monthly basis. Yeah. And we really saw that actually take effect in a really positive way, that guests were becoming aware of, who the musicians were. And it really got, prompted emerging artists that were in that local area to want to come in and see what was going on, and gave them a chance to get on stage and do, the open mic nights to cross.
It's hard, isn't it? You open a venue, how are you going to bring people in? Unless you've got a really seasoned, spending a lot of money for someone coming in who knows their black book of everything. Yeah. And then they might not get everyone who they want, especially in a location. But something like that, we had another client that used something similar, but it also helped them with all the how will the booking work? Is that what that does as well? Does it help you with the other people booking or your own bookings? Does it let you do your own booking stuff as well as bringing in others?
Oh yeah, nice. You can absolutely. It's there as a source. So, if you've got a date available and you need to book it, you put the date up, and then you can see,
if all your residents have let you down, you need someone last minute.
Yeah,
it's there.
It reminds me of like a Brigade, which is that app for chefs and stuff. If you've got 3 chefs down, you go on the app and you go, I need 3 chefs now, and literally you press the button and they go accept, and then you end up having people on your doorstep. That's like immediate, but that's really clever, especially for new spaces.
I think for the independents as well, we can quite easily talk about the businesses that are built with music as a really core central piece, but actually there are small independents that need to be more dynamic with what they're offering. The competition's hard. You've got to be best in class at what you do at a core, but you've also got to be putting other reasons to visit into your programming for the week. And this is able to kind of give you a chance to test that.
And you're off the ground running, I guess, if you get them in early. Like day, like, I don't know, soft launch and then open. You've got people in.
Yeah.
And then you can test the water if it works. You're right. If the audience that are coming are growing, you know who to bring back. That's really clever.
But they're all vetted as well. Yeah. To be able to, as an independent, you're running around like a headless chicken to go and actually look at bands and artists and vet them prior. It's quite time consuming.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, this is just a no-brainer to get you going. That's so gig realm. Okay, awesome. I like that. That's a different type of tech, actually. So rather than something you've used, it's an operator tech. I like that. So okay, so we're going to go back in time. So to listen to the story, because this podcast is all about the story. So whoever wants to go first, but it'll be really interesting to see. I always ask the question as well. Early doors, before the Opportunity Co. Early doors. Did you work like, I don't know, back when? Did you work in hospital before? Okay, yes, both of you, yes.
Of course.
So let me know the journey. I want to hear it.
Well, you want us to go back in time. You kind of have to go a bit further back, Alex. So I actually think we should begin with you, when we just so we can be,
when we both had hair, right? So yeah,
that was a while back. Okay, so I was kind of born into hospitality. My dad was a publican.
Oh, okay.
So I lived above the pub for many years. Tried to, at one point I trained as a chef, which that's hard work.
Suits me though, because I don't like the kitchen at all. So,
eventually I started training to be a carpenter. Then I thought, sod this, I'm just going to move to Southampton. Moved to Southampton, got a job in a nightclub and have not looked back since. Literally just worked my way up through the ladder. Ran some of the UK's
was it one of the big back then? The first one, was it a big nightclub or was it one of the small ones?
Well, the first one that I got a job in was Icon and Diva in Southampton. I don't know if you remember. But it was about
the two split places, right?
Yeah.
So I remember and I don't remember that one specific, but the brands, you'd have two very different.
Well, Diva was always over like 25 as well. So if you ended up having to work in there, you were a little bit, we'll have to work with the old people. Not so much now.
If you're over 25, the old people.
They
don't drink as much.
So just worked my way up the ladder.
What was it? What was the group? It was
Luminar back then.
Luminar,
no, it was Rank when we first started. So long. Really showing my age.
Yeah, I don't know that one. I know Luminar. I know Luminar.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, Rank had a load. They had all the Icon Divas.
Yeah.
Ritzy's as well.
Mhm.
So quite a few big names at the
Yeah.
time. Luminar bought, well, I think it was, what was Northern Leisure, was it? Do you remember that?
No.
No. Cool.
But I'm not. I'm down south, so I'm like London based. So, I remember Luminar. I remember
Luminar came in after
yeah.
Northern Leisure.
Yeah.
I think it was a done deal anyway when
Yeah.
Northern bought it. But Luminar came in.
And then you exploded from having how many venues to how many venues?
I was about 300 odd,
Yeah.
I think, with all the Chicago Rocks, Jumping Jacks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was quite a varied portfolio.
So with that, when you went through, so you started, and then I'm assuming as behind the bar, and then obviously up into management, and then when those groups got bought, did you get thrown about at the place? 'Cause obviously, once you're in that group, it's quite a big group, right? So I'm assuming you didn't just stay in one place, and you're like,
no, there was always a sort of mentality of like after 3 years you'd get bored in a place, and it was time for a fresh, fresh venue. So we did move around quite a bit back then. I moved like every few years, 3 years, but I was kind of I wouldn't say I was a troubleshooter. That makes it sound more elaborate than it was. It was if a venue was struggling, like I enjoyed trying to fix it, like look at it, like what was wrong with the product, and then how to sell it.
Yeah.
And it's done me, like my whole like mentality, I suppose, towards it has done me quite well throughout my career. To the degree I ended up running, some of the biggest clubs in the country. In fact, it was the biggest club in the country at the time. That was Oceana Southampton.
Okay, yeah. All the Oceanas are pretty insane.
I did Watford as well for a while. That was good fun.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, I didn't. It was called something else back then. So I think early doors, Kudos,
Destiny?
and then Destiny. Kudos. I am older, right? So Kudos was the original, and then it was Destiny. I ran Christmas Eve at Destiny a few times, and at Kudos. No, Kudos I ran Christmas Eve. I used to do events, right? So, doing events there was fun.
We need to swap you onto this side of the sofa and ask a little bit about this.
No, another time.
Watford was cool though, where it was all quite close together.
Yes,
like you had area or gate crashing and one end and like whatever it was.
It's a really weird high street, to be fair, because you had like a club there and a club there.
It's a really dead high street now.
Yeah, like nothing in the middle except for a Subway, and then two clubs, and then some VIP little club that opened. Then
the mayor described it as Ibiza on acid. I think it didn't do her any favours.
I have memories at Kudos and very hilarious memories of just like they were like 90s. I just going into different areas, different music. It was so different. Like
for a small town,
yeah,
like with a population of less than 100,000, and an amazing nightlife.
Yeah, that place was banging all the time. Yeah. So it's closed now. It's gone officially. So it was Prism, I think. It ended up being, and then it went.
So I went from there to Southampton, which was the biggest, like 3,500.
Wow.
Which was, I think that was an.
How many staff in 3,500?
I don't know.
Did you do the rotor side?
No. He just fixed it.
There's quite a big management team.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Networking, I think.
Yeah. And then from there, it was into multi-site management. So just as an area manager.
So was that running around to different areas to or were you sitting on top of
different areas, like this bar, that bar, different towns. So it started with about 8 towns.
Yeah.
And then eventually moved into an ops director's role, which was looking after the south of England.
Yeah. How did that feel, going from being more in venue to more being on top of?
It was a little bit strange, to be fair. And part of the reason I've always enjoyed hospitality is I like throwing big parties. I like that. Seeing so many people have a good time. It's something that you've helped create.
And you get the buzz from it as well,
it's
right?
Amazing. You'd stand on stage in a venue that holds a couple of thousand people, and all these people having a good time because of something we've created. So when you step out, even though you are still part of the team that produced it, you don't really feel.
Yeah, the buzz isn't there, is it?
Yeah, it's not the same.
You're looking at figures more.
Yeah, you're looking at spreadsheets. You're reporting up. You're reporting
down. He doesn't
down.
sound like a happy man looking at spreadsheets.
He sounds like a newspaper, doesn't he?
We joke about it.
Yeah.
But you do feel a bit like a newspaper. You're telling the boss what's going on down the road, and we'll tell the person down the road what's been said up the road, and it's quite a middleman. It's kind of, you're responsible for everything, but get accredited for nothing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
quite a weird place to be. But you find your little wins, and managing people, developing people. That's quite
Massive.
buzz. You're doing.
You must have seen a huge amount of people move about, right?
Yeah. And come through, and you see great people leave the industry, and it's a shame to see them leave. But you also understand it. I mean, some want to start a family.
Yeah.
And whilst nightclubs, although there aren't so many of them now,
It's such a shame.
they work so well with people starting families because they're not Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday even, like 10 in the morning till midnight. They are a lot more ring fenced in their hours, so it is easier to manage it as a family. But I don't know.
Especially the ones that have like bars open a bit earlier as well, right? Because they're not open from like 10, 11 o'clock at night until 3 in the morning.
No.
Like the bar ones will be open early, right? As well.
Yeah.
So then the flexibility, I guess.
Yeah, there is more flexibility.
I don't think it's seen like that though, which is a real shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
That actually, speaking as a woman that at some point was doing operations, and it was way before thinking about having a family, that you didn't see many women in sort of senior ops roles. Or even, having families in sort of general manager roles, because it was just seemingly antisocial. But actually, especially now having been a mum, to your point, there is flexibility, and you can work around things so you can still make it to the important milestone moments that you want to as a family.
Yeah.
So we just check.
So we got to multi-site.
Yeah.
And then the newspaper, as in the figures, and then what happened from there?
Well, we got to the ops sort of level, and then I suppose it's your turn to maybe tell us a bit about your.
So was that piece before you teed into the?
Yeah, that's kind of when we got to the.
Pulled him in.
Yeah,
like, come on.
I know you.
We literally did.
Yeah. Oh, so my
Yeah,
turn.
you are.
I think he's teed off to where I am.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll wind me back a little bit then.
Yeah.
So I
maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, and a bit. So I worked in hospitality throughout my whole time whilst I was at university.
Yeah.
As many people did, and loved it. And
so much fun, right?
Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah.
And I was training as a performer, and I had a dabble with a bit of singing and acting, and in the midst of this, just got very stuck in what I was doing within hospitality, and it kind of suckers you in. And actually, there's a lot of people who have a performing background that do really well in hospitality.
It's insane.
It's emotional.
Yes.
No, and everything is about, if you're doing it right, it's about storytelling and that narrative of emotion and people. And so you're a lot more in touch, I guess, with that from that performance background. So, anyways, I stayed in hospitality and kind of thought I'm going to build a career here. Was in more of an operational role. Wanted to
hold on before the operational role. So hold on. So at uni, working
here. Was in more of an operational role. Wanted to
hold on before the operational role. So hold on. So at uni, working blah blah blah. And then after uni.
So I was working at Revs whilst I was at uni.
Yeah.
And then afterwards.
Sorry, Revs. Not everyone knows that. Come on, I know it's not here anymore, but come on.
Revolution
Bar.
I was inventive leisure back then. And
yeah,
I know.
My favourite flavoured vodka.
Do you know what though? The heydays of Revs.
What was it?
You just can't beat them.
Which
number?
Okay, so for me, there was a place in the city called Nylon, and they knocked off what Revolution were doing, and the Skittle one was insane. So I don't know if they. I don't remember. I don't remember my time at Revolution because I was probably so blasted anyway. But they would have Skittle. I don't know if Revs had Skittles as well.
I'm sure
but the
they did.
Skittle one was insane. I was like, that's just like I was the sugar rush as well as the alcohol. I was happy.
It's always the roulette paddles.
Yes.
Yeah, and putting a chili shot in one of them, and who's going to get it? Yeah, that was always fun.
Yeah.
No, so Revs. I mean, I've got an amazing array of memories from Revs. It was just the best time. Like they really. And it's like Royalist was there at the time, and I think he really drilled in standards, so you felt really proud of the bars. But he was, there was an investment in people and developing people, and Beth Anderson really took that on and ran with it. And it just felt like a really well, thought out and hugged business at the time that I was there. I did choose to leave because I chose to kind of step away from operations, go into sales, and I wanted to get some outside of hospitality sales experience. So I went through this program of Recruitment Entrepreneur where there was like a campaign called James Caan's Elite 12. He was one of the Dragons.
I remember. Yeah.
So I got down and was in the 12 and took a job in Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
We hear about it a lot.
I love
No,
this.
it sounds glamorous.
It sounds awesome.
It was a very big learning curve.
Yeah.
The whole process.
It's tough as well.
Well, 120,000 down to 12. The process was rigorous. But actually, the reality, respectfully, I can't talk tech all day, every day for breakfast, lunch and dinner. It was SQL Server data warehousing.
Oh my God.
Blew
Wow.
my mind.
Okay.
And I was like, I love these conversations with, people that have 2 masters in mathematics and they're working on a PhD.
I can get you a job, but just don't tell me what you do.
Yeah, but basically, let's just chat.
I can sell you, just don't tell me what you do.
Yeah. But I was just like, how can I take what I've learned here and, my natural kind of aptitude for sales and bring it into an environment that I love? And so I stepped straight out of Chelsea. I went to Watford on that day, actually to Oceana, to Prism in Watford, and met a friend there and said, like, I need to figure out how to get back in the industry. And she was like, there's a sales manager job in Stevenage if you want to have a go for it.
Wow. Oh, so if you're actually in Oceana.
Yeah, she was sales manager at the time.
Wow.
So she was like, let's make some calls. And I think within the week, I was plugged in.
Wow.
And it was, from there, it was a case of, get in and deliver, make Christmas amazing, smash Christmas. Quite vocal generally when I'm around a table and I have opinions. So I was, throwing a few ideas.
Yeah,
here and there.
I was in Stevenage on the weekend. My kid does a dance place. I was in the by the retail. Was it by the retail park
It was
originally?
in the leisure park.
Yeah.
It ended up being one of Alex's.
Oh, did it?
Not when I was in there.
Oh, okay.
But but yeah. So, anyways, there was a whole central sales kind of plan that was sort of being thrown back and forth, and sales director at the time, Anthony Morrison, and we got on really well, and I knew I could work really well with him and help deliver on this project. So, yeah, I actually decided I'd buy a flat right behind the head office.
Really? Where was head office?
It was in Milton Keynes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I thought, well, I'm perfectly positioned here to work, as much as need me to make this be a success.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so how long? So you started in Stevenage.
Yep.
And smashed Christmas.
Just over a year I was there.
And then after a year, what was that then?
I moved to a national sales manager role.
Okay.
And was building.
Was that you finding it, or was that you wanting to get your teeth into more?
I needed more.
Yeah.
100% needed more. I love being in a venue. And actually, to Alex's point, there's nothing better than being in the venue and being able to say, come and see what we can do. And, building out experiences for people. You can't, you're close to the action. And we still get close to the action. That's, part of what we love. And it's part of why we will always be the way we are with our clients is we roll our sleeves up. Because you can't.
Yeah, you're very hands-on, both of you. Very hands-on.
Absolutely, and we love it. That's part of. That's why we're all in it, right?
Yeah.
So I ended up being the national sales manager for Delta Group, and we centralised lots of the bookings.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Sorry, this is insane. By the way, what you're saying, the journey, the learning from recruitment, because recruitment's tough, right? It's tough. It's hot. It's cutthroat. My friend's in it. I don't know how he does it. It's insane. Was there some interesting learnings you took from that? Because it's tough sales.
Do you know what? Recruitment is all about discipline and it's all about thickening your skin. And the bit that didn't work for me was there was a monotony to it. And I guess you've got to have a stamina to sit in that and, love what you're talking about and also love talking to people. So all of that I really enjoyed. So I was like, I can do this, go at it. Say no to me, no problem. I'll come back. You can say no to me 3 times and I'll still have a smile on my face. Because you've got to believe in what you're selling, right? So when you're selling a good time, which is what we do with hospitality, if you say no, it's probably because it's just the wrong time for you. So we'll have another chat.
Yeah.
And I think
also something that you like. So it's different. If you're loving what you do, you're always going to thrive, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you do have to be, thick-skinned. You have to be disciplined, and you have to be bloody-minded at times to kind of get through the noise. And it's so easy to be, particularly in hospitality, it's so easy to get distracted because there's so much going on. And for salespeople working in venues, my hat goes off to them when they're able to just get on and do what they need to do, because there's so many things that they can be pulled into. Yeah. And you want to help because you're a part of the team, but you do have to, set out an agenda and
I feel like you need to set those boundaries, right? Because the amount of time someone will pull you out of something you're doing, and so on.
And you want to help your peers. The deliveries come early, and you're off here, and I'm here. Yes, okay. I'm not going to see all the frozen food not get taken into the kitchen and be picked up or what have you. But you do need to be more. What I say about salespeople in hospitality, you should almost be spending more time out of your business to bring people in, not sat in your business behind a laptop dealing with what's going on.
I spoke to, we had Jim from Honest a little while ago, and she used to work for Hawksmoor. And then I think one of the first roles she was at was the local marketing, which I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
But they've got obviously the marketing, digital, and so on, and then each location, like and Honest as well, has local marketing.
Yeah.
And their job is to do what you said: go local, speak to everyone, do the hustle, and so on. And I didn't even know that existed.
It's like proactive sales. I mean,
Yeah.
this is where sales and marketing are so like this.
Yeah.
And they should be like this. And you'll get so many people go between being in sales roles and being in marketing roles because of that crossover and that proactivity. But actually, that's where you thrived with your role as an operator. Right. Well, we joked earlier about who hasn't done all the rotas, all those things, because Alex used to go out and represent the business.
But also most likely building the team around you, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's building the team for success. So you might not be doing the roads, doing the finance, but you are that circular piece.
Leadership is all about surrounding yourself with the right people, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the team, isn't it?
Yeah, we thrive on that.
So you're head office.
So I was at head office, and it was a great time there. Jason Thornycraft was COO there. Peter Marks was CEO at the time. And they were brilliant at allowing me to have a voice and really kind of throw some ideas in. And I brought in a brilliant team. Like, my team were the best. They were so high energy. They brought a different vibe. Many in legal and finance didn't always like the vibe because it was a little louder than their workspace normally is. But it was just an energy, and it was fun, and we really delivered on some brilliant.
So did you? So you said that they. So that was then taking centralizing reservations and centralizing events all into head office environment.
Yes.
So what was that
not
like?
For all of not its entirety. Like, there was still 20 or so sales managers. I mean, there was 52, 54 venues at that time, and there was still like 20 sales managers with some respective teams, and we'd support on that strategy and run wider campaigns and launch Christmas and do everything on a more company-wide scale. But yes, there was a dedicated sales team. We had up to 15 people in that team that would just be there to be fast at responding to guests. Yeah. And they'd work with their regional directors to be on conference calls on Mondays to find out what's going on with the businesses, to do conversion days. Everyone knows what these old school days like if you've been in sales, where it'd be like, right, on your phones, on your feet, power hours.
Yeah, let's go.
All of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and they were a brilliant team. They're all doing some really cool things now. But I sort of pitched myself in and said, look, I want to be a head of sales. I know I can do more. Let's dovetail third-party bookings out of marketing into our department, and can I also have some money to do my MBA? And I had the best time again with that company, but it's a different phase of life. Revs was like, there's something at your heart that helps you grow up and make mistakes, and they forgive you, and you can fly and thrive and build friendships for life. And when at Deltic, it was much more, I can grow as a professional here. I've got some experiences, some wounds, but I want to make myself more robust. So I went and did the MBA. It took me 4 years because there was lockdown and 2 children I had during that time. Yeah. But I got the backing from my company to say, yeah, we'll sponsor you to do it. Let's see if you make it to the end. Yeah. And I was like, well, I bloody will now.
Now they've said that.
Yeah, now you said that, I absolutely will. And I did. But during that time of, lockdown and kind of adjusting how you work, every company was trying to be agile, right? And nobody knew how to. You didn't know what to do. No one had done that before. So I was moving into some different project works, and I knew with what I was learning on my MBA that I can do more than just the sales function of the business. I wanted a more commercially wise, strategic sort of approach to businesses. So, we spoke, obviously. So we've had the children during this time. I won't forget your
just
contribution.
To clarify, well done.
We worked at Deltic at the same time.
We did. There was a little crossover. We never actually worked like in the same office, which was lovely.
So where did that connection start? Like, what will happen? Come on.
Should we let us know about Milan or not?
We went for a drink in Milan, didn't we?
We did go for a drink in Milan. I think it's just those moments where you come together. There's conferences each year and you get to know people. And, I guess Alex called my desk phone one day because I stopped answering a mobile phone and caught me off guard, and I said yes to a date.
I love that.
We went to Brasserie Blanc, and he goes, I know. Let me know by the end of the date which card I'm paying with. If this ain't going well, then it's definitely on the business card. You might have to get that bit out of me and get told off. Them coming at you for an expense. No, it went really well. And during lockdown, we found out we were having our firstborn, Hallie, which was lovely. But obviously, as anyone knows, when you're having children, it throws a spanner in the works. I we'd met Amber Stainings throughout. She'd been doing some consultancy at Deltic, and her and I got on like house on fire. And she was like, we need to work together. And working with her at Bums was fantastic over 4-year period.
So you went to work with her or
as consultant?
Oh, amazing.
So I consulted over. I had.
So did she bring you into some projects then, basically?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Green King. And...
She makes a lot of sense. Like so stuff that she comes out with, it just makes sense.
Oh, she's so smart.
Yeah,
really smart, and I learnt loads from her, and I'm really grateful for my time at Bums because it helped nurture me in a wider kind of viewpoint of like what's going on in the industry. And where are the gaps for value, and so it was a lot of fun was had there, and I got to do loads of training
and the
up and down
setup
the country.
Well, because it was a bit more flexible than a head of sales role would have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just worked well with our sort of family setup.
Yeah, but that was a great time, and then whilst kind of.
So you had you had a bit of flexi time. To be fair, obviously,
there's flexi time, but
you're always going to work throughout. Everyone
thinks, you're a consultant or you're freelance, so you only work 2 days a week.
I know you. Bollocks. You're not going to, even if you had half an hour of a break, you would be working. I imagine.
We don't get breaks.
Yeah.
We don't get breaks.
No, it's consistent.
No.
Do you know what? We love what we do, and I think when you love what you do, you don't see it as work. And there's this thing about passion, right? You should be excited as you are for Monday morning, as you are for Friday evening.
Yeah.
And that's why we built our business, because we are those people about the projects we're working on. And the time at Bums really got me to kind of see that. And we did an opening for Ballers whilst I was there, and that was, amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I've done loads of openings from a sales point of view and understanding where we're sat sales with marketing at Deltic, because there was a year of like rebrand, launch, launch. And I had a great time, not only delivering, but I went to all the openings and they knew how to look after their team at Deltic when it comes to that. So, we've done loads of openings, did the opening at Ballers, and then had the opportunity to go and work with Coco in Camden, which...
I love Coco. When it reopened?
Before it reopened. So I was there in my hard hat and I looked after this.
So is this when it got refurbed, or because Coco was it Camden Palais at Coco, or are you talking about Coco refurb?
Coco
the new
refurb, yeah. The big,
because
72 mil refurb.
I did Christmas Eve for like 4 years running in the old Coco.
Yeah.
But the new Coco looks freaking insane.
And if that's what you think, then your mind will be blown by the time you actually get it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new Coco. Because was it a fire? Did they have a fire? What happened?
They had a fire, but it was
the dome. Yeah,
it's the fire. I guess I used to describe when I was doing tours was a beautiful disaster, because it was in the middle of the restoration, and you think, oh my gosh, the top's gone up in flames, but it opened up all of this structure on the inside. And Ollie, who's the founder and an absolute creative mastermind, just took it and went, we're going to create the most beautiful space here, right at the very top of this building, and then put a staircase in it that wraps around, takes you down into the theatre, but at the right back at the height, so you can see the whole of the inside theatre. Wow. Coco is something that you just, there's nothing like it in the world.
No.
And it was such an amazing experience. Opened up a world of, I guess, demographics that I hadn't really experienced before. So, I was building out a commercial strategy across the music side of things with the gig goers at £90 tickets, but also what's £1 million VIP package look like?
Wow.
And who is the person that's going to buy that? Who is the company that's going to buy that? They're very different, and same with all the tiers in between. So it was great learning there.
That's massive learning.
Oh, massive learning on kind of customer mapping and demographics, and how you're meant to, adapt with behaviours, but also how you go out and pitch. That was very different. And then also, looking at it from a sort of a guest experience journey on the digital side, like bringing it all together. So I was very involved in loads of different pockets of that. And 6 weeks in, found out I was having another baby. So I'm literally in my last year of my MBA, speaking with CFO and HR director, being like, can I interview you for my final major project, which was how to optimally use consultants in hospitality.
Oh, great conversation.
Perfect. Great case study for it. Did that. Oh, I'm also pregnant, so I'm going to go and be sick because I'm terribly dealing with morning sickness. But we're going to keep going, and you just graft through. And they were wonderful. Like, I took some time off to have second baby. I think it was like 8 to 10 weeks, and you were like, get back to work. You cracks the whip. But I couldn't wait to get back because like Coco is fantastic. You know, it's more than just a music venue and more than just a hospitality space. It's a media
and it's
company
iconic as well, right?
It is.
Oh, it's a media company as well? I didn't know this.
They've got loads going on. I mean, they take Coco out of Coco and place it into like Glastonbury. And do Camp Coco.
That's insane.
They've got partnerships all over the place, and they've got a brilliant team that heads this up. But it's absolutely astonishing, and it's
that outdoor terrace bit that just looks insane, though, right?
That looks insane. But they've also got a restaurant with a terrace on.
Have they?
In the members in the House of Coco. In the members club.
I haven't been. I need to go. I have to hit you up.
Yeah. So it's so that was a real moment, I guess, that I'm really proud of my journey. And when I look back at them, each sort of phase served something different, and it's kind of led us to the opportunity play.
So when did that begin? What happened? Where did we go?
Nearly 2 years ago, actually. We'll be celebrating 2 years at the end of this month.
Congratulations!
With our rebrand.
Yeah.
With our makeover.
I can't. I'm excited to see it, to be honest with you. But,
me too. Because do you know what? We'll go into. Well, I'll tell you about that in a moment.
Go on.
You explain.
I think we both came or arrived at a point where it was a crossroads. We could keep going in the way we were. Me in the corporate direction and Chloe with consultancy, or we could sort of act on what we believed in, and what we believed in was getting stuck in, being hands-on and trying to make a difference, and making decisions for the right decisions, not because a spreadsheet tells you to necessarily. Don't get me wrong, they're not always wrong.
They can be, because sometimes it's gut, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you've got to look at it slightly differently.
Yeah.
So we both obviously have quite strong beliefs in ourselves and our abilities to make a difference, and thought, right, let's go and have a go. Like, it's now or never.
Yeah.
The kids were, nursery sort of age, so it made it possible. And
that's a big jump, though. It's a big jump. You're like, right, we're both going to quit, and we're both going to do this.
Yeah.
It's a
two in one household doing it.
Yeah. That's like.
There was a few months that were a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, with your black book and your black book, to be fair, with contacts that you have, it's
you just got to believe in. I mean, whether you're a bar or an individual, you got to believe in the product, haven't you? And we had belief in what we could deliver, and we've gone out and touch wood today. It's all going very well.
So what was the first project?
We did the Residence Bar and Kitchen, which was in Milton Keynes, which was ideal. It was right there on our doorstep, your local one. And then we also had a little passion project, Alex calls it, going on.
Go on.
Want to talk about Molly's? We came up with a concept.
Yeah.
We've still got this concept.
Yeah.
We're sat on it because we didn't find the right premises for it.
Yeah.
However, we spoke to a friend, because this is one of the things that we did. The moment we set up the Opportunity Co, we knew that there was a gap for what we could offer.
Yeah.
And we knew that we had a black book of people. We're like, we need to learn from you guys. We need your honest feedback. We want to talk through all of our ideas and really kind of make the most of this first year of like talking to everybody and absorbing as much advice as possible. Vic said, I think, to us at Day Talks, give it for free. The sooner you give it for free, sooner you learn where it's not working and you can fix it. So we're having those kind of conversations with all these different ideas that we had. And Alex had the conversation about this concept with a good friend. Yeah.
And we decided to stick it in a tent. And that was that. So we put up a 50 metres by 60, was it? Well, I can't remember now. 35 metres by 60 metres tent.
It was bloody big.
And creating an Irish pub inside at Christmas.
In a tent at Christmas.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So there was a few hurdles. It was bloody cold in a tent at Christmas, so quite a big eating bill. But it was great. Like, we had bands.
I think you showed me a map of where it was. It's like empty space of where you just plonked it.
Literally just plonked a tent there. We did some work with Diageo. They came on board and helped with it.
Yeah,
helped the setup and just general operation of the whole site. But it was great.
How big was it?
Well, we could seat 900 people.
You
Yeah.
just said a couple of tents. I mean, you can't
Yeah,
just
yeah,
say
yeah.
a couple of tents.
Yeah.
That's nearly
It was
1,000
one
people.
tent. It was a big one.
Yeah.
It was a big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And everyone was moaning they had no Guinness, and we were looking like all these kegs, like, oh, we got plenty. There was like all the harps along the bar. We were
Really?
like, this
Wow.
is brilliant.
Yeah, we had harps all along the bar, kegs all down the
Yeah.
back of the
Molly
car
good day
park.
for a Guinness, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
So yeah, it was really good fun.
How long did you run that for?
Too long,
Yeah.
to be totally honest.
That's-
It
that's-
ended up being far more sort of corporate led
Mm.
than just general admissions, which was
It's not a bad thing, to be fair.
No, it wasn't.
I said
but-
corporate letters in the direction, or people coming in.
Like Christmas bookings.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
You know, the
Oh, yeah.
Christmas parties.
company credit
Yeah,
cards,
yeah,
which was great.
yeah.
But we should have stopped it at Christmas. Instead, we tried to get the week out of,
Yeah.
after Christmas. But you don't get corporate parties after
No,
Christmas, do you?
no.
So, that was a learning. We also had a storm come through with 65-mile-an-hour winds,
Wow.
which is
You don't want that when you're in a
apparently,
tent.
well, yeah, apparently you're not allowed to let people go in your tent when it's that windy. So that was a little bit of a.
Someone with the flag outside, basically.
Yeah,
So-
it's like
so,
everything's
so what? They
against
just
it.
wouldn't let you with the
No,
council.
we
wouldn't let
couldn't
you-
operate that
Oh,
night,
really?
which was a bit
How
of a
did you
shame.
how did you bolt it down then? Like, was it just
Well, it was well bolted down, but
health and safety?
The car park that we used was it recently been refurbished.
Yes.
So I mean, there's different techniques to bolting the tents down. You can use concrete blocks, or you can actually stake it. If you stake it, it's generally a little bit more secure.
Yeah.
But because it was quite a new car park, they wouldn't let us do that. So we had to use concrete blocks, which just restricted the amount of wind we could
Yeah. Hold down.
put up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Would you, next time is there a drive-through, so people can just go through and get their Guinness and,
We
have
should-
a pre-order,
should
and then they
actually.
just drive through, and then out you go.
yeah, we could give it a go. Not
So was
quite
it food
sure.
offering as well, or just drink?
We had a food offering. It was just street food. It was
Yeah.
nothing. I mean, it wasn't sit down meals. or
No.
anything. This was about
It was about a party.
enjoying live music, dancing,
Yeah. And bands as
and
well.
a few Guinness. Oh, loads of bands.
Yeah. Amazing.
So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
And we did it again this year.
Oh,
Just
amazing.
gone. We expanded to 2 this year.
So two different spaces.
Yeah, 2 different spaces.
Okay. Of how same amount of people each space?
The second space was a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
But we'll see where we go next.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
It's a nice little pet. It's not really a pet project. It's a project.
Yeah, it was a chunky project. Yeah, absolutely.
Lots of learning from the number one, I'm sure.
Well, I've not done an event in a tent before. We'd always used the building.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a learning and understanding toilets and
I mean, the council must have loved you because it's probably bringing people to the space. It's like, utilizing it and regenerating it, I guess, as well, no? Like,
yeah, they're desperate to make the town centre a hub again.
Yeah.
So it did just that. It was a sort of an anchor for the late night economy
Yeah.
throughout the Christmas
I feel like there
period.
needs to be more. I feel like that what you're doing is a really clever idea.
Yeah.
That all these nightclubs are disappearing, but people want.
They still want a big party.
Yeah, people want a big party. They want to
Yeah,
go somewhere that's cool, not necessarily for corporate, but normal people want to go out and have a party.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be, and if it's just a pop-up that's there for a
Somewhere
couple of
different.
weeks, that's an insane idea.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
always
There's
gives
not
that
many
flavour.
places that you can use of that size.
No. They want our paddle courts.
Yeah, well, paddle courts or flats.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good opportunity. It was good to do, to be fair. We ended up pretty good at splitting the G.
Yeah.
So
So you did all right.
Put on a few pounds as well.
yeah.
I'm sure the stress alone.
I was competitive. I wanted to win that split the G.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
So did you have like a leaderboard?
Then we should
on
have.
there?
Then we were
We
videoing
could've
a lot of
done.
videos.
We've got loads of videos.
Yeah. And was it because you'd already had shit tons of Guinness and no one had it? Was that a benefit as well?
The fact that we had loads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, we'd have been screwed if we didn't have any. Having an Irish pop-up pub
Yeah.
and no Guinness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
No, thank you. Didn't. So
we actually were like, can you sell it to Birmingham? Can you sell it to no.
No one's having it. We've got it. It's ours.
Yeah.
It's ours. I'm sure you had probably phone calls asking to.
No, we did have.
Did you? Yeah. Oh, geez. Years ago, there was a club in Mayfair, and the owner had a cash and carry in like Calais, and he'd basically bring the alcohol in, whatever, and he had 2 Jeroboams of Cristal.
Oh.
That didn't really exist. Like, it doesn't. So he had a phone call from Cristal. They're like, "We've got a super VIP. We'll pay you whatever you want, whatever money you want." He basically told him to piss off. He was like, "Piss off." He's like, "I'm keeping them," and then I don't think they've ever sold. But it was just that in that nice. You know what I mean? But
Good story.
yeah, it's a nice story. Well, Cristal to Guinness, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you sold all of it. That's insane. So So now we're up to your pet project. So what?
So we're in that first 2 years, I guess. We've done quite a bit of like advisory, kind of talking to different people, giving it away for free to kind of say, look, this is what we can do.
Yeah.
We've got a soft spot, haven't we, for Jade Craig, because we've done some work with her.
She's amazing.
Oh,
I'm waiting for her to be okay to come onto the podcast. She doesn't want to talk about herself. And she's insane.
She should. She's a woman of like huge amount of knowledge. She's literally like a fountain of knowledge for the industry. And she's just so inclusive of everybody and wants everyone to do well. Like, and we have that same feeling towards her. So where possible, we try and help. You know, we're big advocates of Game Changers organisation. And so we've
we met her when we were first starting out. In the early days. Yeah.
Did you know her before, or did you get introduced?
We knew of her.
Yeah.
We met her online, didn't we? And then we went and met her and ended up drinking copious amounts of green wine.
Yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the events they run. I've never seen the slickest team in my life.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Attention in the detail, though.
I've never seen it. And I used to do it. I did events like 8 years.
Yeah.
I you know, when you go somewhere, you as an operator and everything, you see stuff, and you're like, you're itchy because you want to go fix it.
Yeah.
And you look at things and go, I don't have that with anything they do.
No, you can relax when you go because you trust.
Yeah,
but it pays dividends because they do a great job.
Yeah,
She's picking up more and more events all the time.
Yeah, I think it's insane of what they do, and that Game Changer thing is so clever. Like, it's just, there's a need for help. Yeah. The amount of money they've saved, I think, for brands, it's insane.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of respect. I need to. I'm working on. I need to get other people to work on her to come on.
We'll work on her.
So
we'll
thanks.
Get her.
Thanks. So yeah, that's a really. So then. We talked about, when we spoke ages ago, we talked about wet lead, right?
Yep.
Which is expertise. Is it a mix of when you work with different brands? Obviously, there's a lot of expertise in wet lead. It's a difficult business, especially. I spoke to them the other day, actually. They were like, it's a lie. People are drinking, because I spoke to like other restaurants and bars that we work with. And they're like, oh, no one's really drinking anymore. And I spoke to a colleague of mine last week, and he's like, it's a lie. Like, people might not love cocktails. They're like, we're doing really well. Like, it's because my niece, who's 19, will go out to pizza programs and then they'll go to a bar, but they won't really, whatever. But the guy I spoke to last week was like, oh my God, it's mental. They're like, the people come in having fun, having a laugh. I guess it's all about the experience. So back in the day, the pubs that aren't existing anymore as much. And obviously you've been working with some really cool experiential places. I think that's a really interesting thing on changing it.
It's not just about walking in and buying a drink anymore.
No.
It's the whole package. So I don't know who your friend was, but I would imagine there was more to his offering.
His environment. The environment was super cool. And then even like the guys from SingPods, which is like, and we talked about earlier. Yeah. I spoke to one of our clients, and he's taken 3 of their upstairs, put SingPod in. And it's just bringing more people in, like organically, just from having that, because I think it's insane. So when we look at what you do, is it more of the wet lead style that's more like what you tee into, or is it it's anything really? Because it's
firstly where we find that we specialise is new openings.
Yeah,
because we are relentless in the way that we work. Like, there is no, we need to slow down, or when we need days off, or there's none of that. And in an opening, you are on a timeline here to be able to get things delivered and work at pace and bring experts in. And we pride ourselves at surrounding ourselves with brilliant people that are experts at what they do. So last year we supported KG Hospitality with the opening of the Dial, Home of Meantime and Amazing Grace. We also opened the Phipps for McManus, and actually bought SingPods in kind of, they had this empty space, and we're like, put in karaoke, come on. And people are still drinking, but you don't ignore the data. Insight is everything, and that should definitely drive decision making. But also, you've got to go in and feel it for yourself. Like, there's no point just looking at stats and saying, all right, well, that's decision made. Actually look at the behaviour, and is it that people aren't drinking because other things aren't working for them, or is it that just binge drinking isn't what they want to do anymore? They just want a really good quality cocktail, but they still want to drink, and I think it varies client to client, and we are agile to the client's needs. If you're a restaurant, if you're a bar, if you're a competitive socialising venue, we aren't afraid to look at it with our eyes and our mindset, because we're always thinking about the guest first. And if you've got guest mindset at the forefront, then everything else works from that.
Yeah, I think one thing I was talking about earlier, we talked about the sales thing and you bringing sales in. We work with the tech companies as well, like our partners and stuff. And one of the ones in Christmas, Cortenza, they're like a data company. Always insane company. And they did a Christmas party thing, awards. It was cool. And he was like, I emailed like 6 places and no one emailed me back. They would have all my money, and then they were like great spaces, and just no one emailed me. And it was I mean, Christmas time's busy. I understand, I get it, but he goes. I looked on their website. The booking. I couldn't book. I couldn't book for a space for an event anywhere on the website, because we had Rosie the other day who came in. She's like, why don't you just put event space booking on your website? It's not hard, And if there's a space available to book, put it there. People will grab it. But he was like, no one emailed me back, and then they eventually did get a space, which they sort of were told that downstairs was going to be theirs. Yeah. But it wasn't. They were put upstairs, and they were stuck in this space where everyone else was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, there's got to be. He's like, I wish there was something easier.
Yeah, it's just not acceptable, is it?
No.
Everyone needs to fight for it at the moment. Competition's really high. So those sort of examples and those experiences just are infuriating. Yeah. Because if someone's going to spend their money with you and they're giving you the time to consider you, even at that consideration stage, like, at least give them your time at fulfilling that kind of conversation. And also, it's the fastest person has the best chance of winning. Yeah. So you can't be sitting on your laurels thinking, we'll get back that to them tomorrow.
We had Catherine Allen on ages ago, and one of the things that was really nice what she was saying, because she worked at Beds and Bars, and she said when she got there, they had no auto reply from any email. Yeah. From any booking. Yeah. Which is like, what I did was I just did an auto reply, and I did it color coded. So I sort of put pink at the top for like general reservations, and then I put like blue thing in the middle for like, and just directing people to the right place, because that one thing changed their conversion by about like 40%, because the first email you get is, okay, fine, it's about reservation. I can cancel booking, whatever, it's fine. I don't, whatever. If it's about corporate, whatever, qualifying that lead, and then obviously making sure that people contact people. Mm-hmm. But that I was at a client in the city after I spoke to her on that podcast, and I was like, I said, it's a really good podcast. And I was telling him, he literally pulled over the sales events manager and listened to Adam and listened to what he just said. And literally there and then they put an out of office reply, just out of office reply.
But you know what? People just need sometimes to come out of their box and their world and think with like fresh eyes. And that's the beauty of working with agencies, right? Is that we can go in completely unbiased. We're not there to make friends. We're there to help you grow your business. So our approach and us being able to look at it and go, are you auto confirming? At what point do you need to speak to somebody? Or at what point does an AI bot do its job? And then at what point do you actually need it to speak to a human? And being able to find those moments so that you're not delaying conversion and you're not delaying money calling and landing in the till. Yeah. So I'm with you though.
I just think it's insane. I think I wish I were. It's interesting. I called up. So I was in Stevenage on the weekend, and my kids was at the theatre for the dance thing. She did very well, which is good. And my wife was like, "Adam, you better go get some food because the award's going to be in a minute." And I was like, so ran out. There's obviously all the rest out there, and I called up Bella Italia. Yep. Hello, thank you for calling Bella Italia. How can I help you? I was like, hi. Have you got a table for tonight? Yeah, is that when are you looking for a table for? Tonight. Okay, let me check. It's AI basically. It's like the Poly I think they use. Yeah. And it's like, I'm sorry, there's no tables for 2.5 hours. I was like, what? Nothing for like 20 minutes? I literally all in 20 minutes. Yeah, no, sorry, nothing for 2.5 hours. Same comment again. Yeah. I was like, okay, put the phone down. I was like,
that's rubbish.
I was like, come on. Yeah. I mean, I understand it's busy. I get it. I should have just gone and walked in and spoke to someone, but I didn't.
No, but you shouldn't have to. No. You shouldn't have to make such an effort to be able to get.
No, the AI thing is good. I think that, as you said, I think there needs to be that breakout option. Yeah. I would just speak to someone. I feel like I was with my mum the other day, and she was on the phone to Sky, and she was getting nowhere. So I put the phone down. I was like, answer it again. And call it again. She goes, just say, I'm hard of hearing. And she said, bear with me, we'll put you to the disability team now. She's like, that's amazing. I'm going to call the I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that every time now. And I've been using it. It's insane. Like you get through to like someone in Scotland. How can I help you? And so on. So I think I might do that but the AI needs to break out. And I think that's some of the challenges on some of them. They just don't, either just don't have an IVR that works or have an option.
AI is fascinating, and it's also quite a scary space, isn't it? Because it's constantly evolving. You feel like, I don't know enough and I'm not using enough different gadgets and oh my gosh, what are they using? You know, we use AI at times, but to speed things up, not to do what we offer.
That's what-
It's
that's
not
what
our
it should be
value.
there
Be
for,
used
right?
to enhance the experience, not replace a human.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it can. So I think one of the interesting things that I spoke to Kerry from GuestWise the other day. He's just releasing a new tool which you're going to love. It's the omni-channel replying to emails with the, so if someone asks about a wedding,
Yeah.
it will do it in your tone of voice, but it will give you your reply about the wedding or a booking or a corporate or I want to cancel my reservation. So it's getting, and then it filters out what it needs to response to give to you. You still have the inbox, you can still see what's going on. And they've done different tones of voice for Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, wherever it might be. So because it's different demographics.
Yeah.
So I was like, do you have the same voice on the email that you have now? They have to train the
Good.
team.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is that inbox piece, which is really difficult. You still have control over it, but the general stuff with the general information that needs to go back to people is insane. And when you're looking at a group, for example, it's hard. Even a smaller venue, the smaller venues probably won't take it because there's additional costs involved.
Yeah.
But to your point, I think having someone to look at it and respond is super important.
I think that everyone's looking at it from a different point, and you'll probably add to this, but labour costs are always the talking point, right? So they're so high that any way that you can try and reduce that is great, but don't do it at the cost of guest experience because that's never going to last and that's not going to be sustainable. And I think that's what you've always
Or
got
at
to
the cost of
imagine
the
with
people that are bringing the revenue into the business.
One thing interesting thing we talked about the other day is that the both sides of your experience is really interesting because that you both ops really. You're more ops now, obviously, or always have been. You're opsy.
Or sales and marketing.
And sales and marketing, but you were ops, right?
Yeah,
so theoretically, you have been there. So
and having that ops side will only ever make you better at any other role that you take on.
because you understand the challenges of the ops person, of the operations manager. Because the challenge it's always been, and we've seen it time and time again, is there's ops, there's marketing, and there's sales, and there's res over there somewhere, and all siloed, or not talking to each other, just doing their own thing, and it's so apparent and happens so often that it just sits there.
You know, when you start a business, they say you need to know what problem you're solving. That right there is why we set up the opportunity code.
Right? It's just, I think the nice thing is it's coming from outside eyes, going into seeing those silos and trying to bring them together. I love it when ops and marketing are together. I know sales and marketing is sort of together. It's the same thing as well, but I love it.
They cross over quite a bit.
Yeah, they do. But I think the ops and marketing piece, if they're together, when marketing wants to roll something out like loyalty, blah, 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 you've got buy-in from ops to do it through. Time and time again, you try and do something and then it just gets falls, right?
Yeah.
Marketing wants to do this. Yeah. Ops are like, never going to work.
Yeah, but you know, loyalty, we've spoken about it before. It's not just about sticking an app in and going, right, that's going to work.
Yeah.
Like the best places to gain loyalty out of your guests is when you're talking to them. And who talks to the guests most? The operators. So actually, you know, ops, there should be no question about it. Every person that's in an operational role should act like, I used to say when I was in sales, be like, everyone's a salesperson.
Yeah.
Or everyone's a marketeer. You know, everyone needs to have the knowledge of what's going on in that business and actually have some authenticity in the way they're talking about it to their guests. You're not going to get that if you just send an email going, oh, this is the campaign that we're doing. There's the food offer, there's the drink, and this is your couple of buzzwords. That's never going to land, and it's never going to create the experience that you're trying to deliver.
It's really interesting. I think I like it when the brands all talk, when someone comes in like you guys and they come in and they just bring people together. It's like there's like a I forget who it was now. I think Chris and Fletcher talked about it the other day. A single source of truth. It's like single plate of truth. So you can, with tech, sometimes you bring. I spoke to a client the other day, and they were like, "Look, we want to do this. We want to plug this in, and then we got res." And I was like, "Bring." And I want to build an app, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. I was like, "Bring everyone into a meeting or to the office." And sit them down and let them all have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in you doing, as you said, we've got a new idea, let's do it. So it's similar to what you come in and bring those the people that stakeholders into the right place, and then sort of like puzzle it together.
Yeah.
To make it, it's it can work.
Did you know, we had I had an example of this where I stepped quite outside my comfort zone at that point in my career when I was working with Coco, and I was like, I called a meeting because I had about 4 different meetings with different people, and in every conversation, everyone was fighting their cause, and it was all kind of working against each other, and I was sort of this piggy in the middle. It was meant to be like, take everything and make it all work and create this amazing strategy. So I pulled everyone around the table, and it was the CFO, it was the owner, it was the commercial director, it was head of music, everybody. It was like 7 or 8 of us around this table.
Yeah.
And there was a few things I hadn't considered with like incremental bar revenue that would have been captured here, here, and here. But all of a sudden I was like, well, you didn't consider that either. And you hadn't thought about this bit. And that conversation was 45 minutes, but well spent for everyone, because we went away, and me being in the role that I was like, right, I've got everyone's opinions.
Yeah.
They've all had a little crossover. There's been some enlightenment, and we can now come up with one clean plan that we can move forward with.
Nice.
It was really nerve-wracking.
Yeah, no, I can
But
imagine.
it was a really good turning point. And actually, exactly what you're saying, you need everyone to be talking to each other and sharing feedback, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is.
Let everyone have the option and
Yeah.
I think that's super important. Even if it's really interesting, I was listening to, I don't know, I think it was like probably one of the Diary CEO podcasts, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
One of those ones where
God,
it
I
was
love a bit of
just,
Stephen Bartlett.
sitting there in a meeting and not saying a thing and letting everyone, so you have something to say and you might not be in that big high role. They're all going, rah, 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 and you're the only person that's sitting there and quiet. And they were like, wait 3 minutes, and they'll look at you and they were like, what have you got to say? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let you into it, because there's that challenging piece of who has what. But I think it is interesting bringing all the stakeholders together into one place, and then having it. We talk about it the whole time, having those silos, and it's the age old. You probably get this as well. It's the way it's always been done. It's always been done this way.
Yeah.
Why change? So if someone comes in from another brand, might be a bigger brand, whatever it might be, and comes in and they're set in their ways of what it is. The nice thing about fresh eyes is this is what worked. This is what we've done before.
Yeah.
This is what could work for you.
Yeah.
And so you're showing the value of that. So it's interesting coming from the ops and the sales and marketing, because you have fractional sales and you have fractional marketing and you have fractional ops, which is great.
Yeah.
But there's not often where two of them are very close together and talking.
It was part of the reason like we started in the first place was aligning the three and being able to because like you say, they're normally quite siloed. And
Yeah.
Sales and marketing don't normally talk to ops at all.
No.
So yeah, it was a bit of a no-brainer back at the start.
Yeah, it's interesting, and also the opening piece is nice because as you said, you're held to leather, right? There's nothing that's going to stop. It's throughout. So you're giving the operator that breathing space to deal with whatever challenge they might have, and then you've set that plan to schedule out. And so often we've been to the restaurants. The soft launch isn't really the soft launch. It's soft launch is where like the kitchen's broken and the gas isn't started, and then everything. You've been there, and it's really interesting. But I think when you've got a different team rather than your owner, founder, or stuck with trying to do everything, you've got that support package.
Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting. So when we talk about the what you do, is it moreover like the independents versus the 1 to 3s or the 5+s, or is it a mix? Because some of the bigger groups obviously will have what they have, but it's also quite interesting looking at someone who's got 10 sites and having fresh eyes come in, because again, this is how it's been done. Some people grow exponentially and have no structure.
Yeah.
I would say it's more the small to medium, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they might have let their central team go in a downsizing exercise, which great for us.
Yeah.
Then it gives us an opportunity to get stuck in.
Do you find that when that happens, you're able to pick out the people who are still there, but then train them up and make them work into, sort of build it out? It depends who's there, obviously.
Yeah, it does depend.
Yeah.
Like, some people, they're just not interested. This is how they've always done it. They're not, they don't want to learn. They don't want to move forward. And, they're stagnant
old
within
school
the business.
hospitality.
Yeah. And it's a shame because, they've lost their mojo, I suppose.
Yeah.
But more often than not, we find people in there, they just needed to be recognised or encouraged or just, talk to.
It's that nurture piece, isn't it? I love it when in hospitality, when you see, as what you've both done, you've both been in the journey. You've grown up in hospitality.
Yeah.
You've been taken on that journey. If someone didn't have a belief in both of what you did, you wouldn't be where you are now. And I think that's a massive thing in hospital, which I don't think isn't talked about enough in hospitality. That it is an amazing career. It's not a desk job where you sit there and it is, it has its challenges.
Yeah.
But to have the opportunity to learn as you go and go, they're talking about now, like on the radio today, people need to learn to be plumbers and so on. I'm like, Mark McCulloch, when we were talking about him earlier, Mark McCulloch said when he was here, people, we should bring back national service, They should either work in hospitality or go in the army.
Yeah.
Because
Become
it will,
resilient.
right.
Yeah.
Help with mental health.
Right.
100%.
I think it's so interesting. I think that my family friends, nieces, nephews have all worked a bit in hospitality. They are different people from just literally having that experience working in a pub, dealing with people, that drunk, that regular, the complaints and so on. And it's changed how that aspect works on that. I find it amazing.
Do you know, I think the PR for the industry could definitely do with a little bit more work. Like, we don't sing the good news stories enough for people that are maybe the older generation that don't take hospitality seriously as a career, are seeing on the news and going, all right, well, go and train and be a doctor, and go and get a trade, go and be a lawyer. No one's really go and work in hospitality. And you should. Like, we were at the 10th anniversary of apprenticeships a couple of weeks back. Maureen Heffernan has, been working on, like you say, for a decade now. And it was incredible because our industry offers apprenticeships where you can learn, qualify, but be doing it in your role and actually have a job at the end of it. It's not some fuddy-duddy certificate that you've got to go and figure it out after. You are getting a career and you get to enjoy something that's hands-on. You can be practical and on your feet, so you're not just sat down. We go for a run quite a lot because we're finding ourselves behind a computer. You need to stay energetic to keep your kind of cogs up here working in the right way. And there's so much to shout about having a career in hospitality. All of us, look at the proof of this.
It's quite rewarding as well. There's so much. I mean, you can take it anywhere. You can go anywhere in the world.
Transferable skills is insane.
Yeah.
And some of the sort of perks to working in the industry as well. I've been to some amazing places.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thanks to some of the suppliers. And you would never do it if, I've not worked in many other industries, so I don't know what sort of stuff the suppliers offer, but there's certainly once in a lifetime sort of vacations.
Yeah, even on a smaller scale though, the industry is a community in itself, right? And we look after each other. That's what we talk about, networking and who can we introduce to who, and like we all want introductions, of course we do. But if you're in a business and you operate a business and you want to take your team out, we've had loads of people go, we can do contra deals with you. You bring your team here, we'll take our team there, and we'll look after you. And
do you find that since the pandemic that people are more open? It's really interesting. I find, especially for marketing, and in ops as well. Like, you've got Travis Fish doing Ops Club. You've got the Tech on Toast stuff that's out there. You've got more events. Team marketing, as expanding out. It's really interesting to see people being open. Like, how was the sales last week? Before COVID, like, I don't try to do anything. Like, don't talk to people. Like, everything's hunky dory. And then I think now it's really interesting. People are like, actually, it was terrible. Last week was shit.
Yeah.
Or what covers have you seen here? Or how are your Christmas bookings? Yeah. And it's really not. No other industry is open like this. You speak to any other industry and they're completely closed chest. And I think the pandemic has really softened. Yeah. And people want to look after each other. Obviously, it's a difficult industry right now. Yeah. So
I newly joined the board of leaders at Hospitality Titans for that reason of community and being able to nurture a space where everyone can come together and actually share on experiences. And I think it's so valuable for all of our learning. You don't need to go and do a course to learn. You could do your DIY learning, but you can learn from each other. I'm a massive advocate for learning and growth. I've got a lot of certificates, but my biggest lessons have definitely been rolling sleeves up, hands on the job, and talking to my peers about different things.
Yeah.
So,
I think we can go on talking forever. This is really interesting as well. And I didn't ask any of those questions, so we're looking. To be fair, the last one was which I'm going to ask you before I answer the questions, was the conversion and growth in a tough market. You said every inquiry counts. It's a difficult market, and you've launched a conversion club.
We did the conversion club last year actually, and it's kind of remodeled as, I guess, as reactive sales and it's outsourced sales, because not everybody has the manpower to handle really good inquiries really well consistently. So we've got a sales team that pick up the phones and can manage, large group bookings and qualify the inquiries and make sure they get them over the line. Like I said before,
right? That client of the Part Tenzo, right? Yeah. They would have got through to that team. Yeah. They would have been done, sold, boom, done, deposit finished, done.
But there's we still got to look at the audience who are trying to make bookings, and there's an older audience there that have more time and more money, and they want to talk to somebody. So yes, AI has its place, but our team are that somebody that can pick up the phone on behalf of our clients, so it's white labelled, and they can do a great job at making sure that one, that's answered and answered promptly, and within like 90-minute, 2-hour talk time, response time. But actually, the conversion rate of getting that into a sale position is far higher than it would be if it was just dropping into AI or being ignored.
It is really interesting. I work with a sound guy. He's old. He's an old boy. He's like, I just want to phone Adam. Can't go through to anyone at the moment.
Yeah.
Part of the reason we set it up was that we were talking to one of the local bars in Milton Keynes. We're just having a chat with them, and we were talking sales, and we were saying like, you use automation and all that. No, not really. Okay, so how do you operate your bookings? And he goes, oh, the missus rings everybody back that's left a message on the answer phone every Thursday.
Did your heart just
And
sink
we
at
were
that
like,
point? You're
No,
like,
it was like,
there's an opportunity here.
once again, fixing the problem, right?
Yeah.
So and the answer phone's full. What do you do? So like it's. I think everything is an opportunity, hence the name, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's really interesting. I think there's a big challenge out there with that issue where either the phone isn't being answered, the conversion's not being converted, and things are just being left, and they slip through the cracks the whole time. And then and as I said, and as you said, there is a massive demographic who have more money than anyone who want to just go out and have a nice meal.
Yeah.
And if you're not answering that phone, then they're not going to go online. They're just going to go to the next one, and then call it. Do you know what I mean? So
if you're coming out with your 70-year-old granddad and he's got a walking frame, needs to be close to the toilet. You're not going to be able to talk to AI about that. You need to talk to someone.
And even if you do put it in the booking notes, it's unlikely they will see it. To be honest with you. So that's the other challenge. I think one of the things we were talking about the other day was when I had Catherine on. We one of her questions was, what's in 10 years' time you come out your taxi and you go have your lunch, what's it going to look like?
Yeah.
And she's like, I think it's going to go backwards, and it's going to be stuff like someone will open the door for me, know who I am because the AI has already told their glasses, for example, who I am, what I like to sit, the table's been chosen for me and my drink's going to be there. But someone's going to walk me into the table, welcome me back, do what the maitre d' used to do, but using technology, but in a nicer way. And I like that. I really like that as a clever idea. It's like I
think that's how tech will work with hospitality, though. It will never replace jobs. No. It will just make a guest experience better.
I keep saying to people, this is interesting. So when you get a reservation, when you book a table, and I've been saying this the last 2 weeks, when you book a table in any restaurant, probably 90% of restaurants, and you get an email from OpenTable, from Seven Romans, from Resi, from Collins, the email basically says, thanks so much for booking, fuck you. And I don't know who you are because there's no customization. There is like a nicer version of what it is, but they don't know I've been 17 times. They have no idea that I am vegan, which I'm not. They have no idea that I have kids or my wife has X or whatever. And that just, you go to a hotel, it's very different, right? They have the touch points.
Yeah.
There is technology out there that can help. And I think it upsets me that when you book a table, it should be, thanks so much for coming. There is some technology now out there that can do this now, which is amazing. And slowly it's happening. And it's the retail technology that's doing it.
Well,
so
they're
retail
doing some great things, aren't they?
I mean, look at retail. I mean, it's just steaming ahead. I find it really interesting because some of the teams that were from retail that are now in hospitality are the ones just, they're like, why aren't we doing this?
Yeah.
It's insane. People from retail or from e-com come into hospo and they're like, everything's broken.
Yeah.
So to the point of having imagine you get an email, they know you've been before, they know a touch point, you get this beautiful customized email. Yeah. I just think, it's coming now.
Well, retail are in touch with what's going on. I think Charlotte from the Fitting Room did a video about, that social listening and understanding what's happening, that we aren't great at that in hospitality. We kind of just trudge through and follow the calendar year and keep it moving. Yeah. And actually that's not going to keep us innovative and that's not going to keep us pleasing our guests. And our guests are dynamic, right? So not one size will fit all. So we need to not think that just that tech solution is going to be the answer to everything. There's got to be a dynamic approach to the way that we're constantly communicating with our guests.
I think it's just insane. We keep speaking to people, and I spoke to a group the other day, and she said, Adam, I just want an inbox. When someone sends me an email, I want to see how many bookings they had, where they are in the CRM. Mm-hmm. And obviously I went back to my office. I was like, oh, okay, AI, let's start building. I was like, Adam, don't do it. Just leave it to the side. I was like, AI can build this. I was like, don't do it, Adam.
I would love to look at your AI.
Oh, you know, like 17 projects have started. Don't do it. Like literally there's don't touch it, Adam. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. But the technology option out there of what people are building and what's potentially out there is insane. Some of the retail stuff that's coming into Hospo is just unbelievable, and actually, I think it's a really exciting time.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Where things are going, and I think more people are open now when it comes to tech. Right? Before, in the past, it was very much like, well, that won't work with that because it's not plugged in, and that won't work with that because it's not plugged in.
Yeah.
So, but listen, I'm going to give you a. Hold on, let's turn that up. There you go. Round of applause. Thank you so much. Oh, hold on. There we go. I did turn it off. And then we're going to go with the last questions. So the last questions are best restaurant.
I'm trying to think.
I tell you what, I'm gonna do fave here. I spent my birthday at Amazing Grace, not because it was a client of ours, but because I was really excited to experience what they had. The food, Pan Asian food, was perfect for a girls' afternoon. You know, it was all the small plates. The host was amazing, and they kept checking on us. They don't know me. All the floor team don't know me by name, so I got a little bit of we do know you, but we don't know you experience. So there might be a little bias in there, but their product to have the acoustic set that complemented that early doors dinner, and then all of a sudden this live band came through the tables to the stage, lifted the spirit, and the tables came out, and all of a sudden I felt like I was like with some 90s like bangers coming on. It was brilliant, but from start to finish it was so good. Like the cocktails were exquisite.
So they move the tables out the way, and then it becomes like bar, like cool like band experience.
It's so cool. If you haven't, you need to go. You need to go and get your
sounds
wife
insane.
come. It's so fun. It's just like I laughed. I was smiling the whole time I was there. I was with my friends. There was nothing to complain about when it came to the food and the drink. There was recommendations coming to us all because my friends didn't really know what they should order. But I was just I got the escapism that we always talk about in hospitality. You know, it's about celebration.
Yeah.
And yes, we go there sometimes when we're feeling a bit down, and it can pick us up. You know, the way to talking to us can sometimes be, oh, I needed to hear that. The problems aren't so big after all. Let's just carry on.
Yeah.
And I really felt that in that experience. So anyone that hasn't been to Amazing Grace needs to go.
I definitely. It sounds insane. No, it does. It sounds insane because it's about the experience now. You want to go somewhere that's not just a restaurant; it's something fun, right? Even the look of it.
It's memorable.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will stick in my memories as well. Like we eat out far more than we like to admit.
Or should.
Or should, yes. And so sometimes when you get asked that question, you think, oh my gosh, how is it I eat out sort of 5-6 times a week sometimes? And I think, I can't remember where I've been because it's not memorable experiences. But you know, even like getting a coffee, Pret did that amazing surprise and delight. Oh, don't worry about yours today.
Yeah, I had that the other day.
We were having a little bicker at the train station. It's probably something about who's buying the tickets. And he wandered off and she was like, yeah, I'll do yours for free.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, thank you. I go to
same.
Pret now.
Yeah.
That's where I'll choose to go. And there's a lineup of Costas and Starbucks.
I love that option in Pret. It's such a game changer.
Yeah.
Even if I had a bit of banter with someone on like Pall Mall, where Pret was, and I was having banter, and they were like, "That's on me." And I was like, "No, I'll pay for it. It's fine. No, it's on me."
Yeah.
And it was just really nice. They get a budget to use, right? It's just that little piece is lovely.
And it's like they don't abuse it because they've been given.
So talking about the actors in hospitality, we went to Brother Marcus in Covent Garden, which is insane. And we went in, and like half the team are all in actors. They're all actors.
I haven't been yet. This is on my hit list.
It is really good. And so my wife's gluten free, no garlic, no onion. Like it's an interesting conversation when it comes to it. And then they missed two things. They missed one thing off her menu, of her meal. And then we came to pay, and they were like, "No, her meal was completely like her whatever. Her start. You had a starter. Everything's on us. We made a mistake. I'm really sorry." And she's like, "No, I want to pay. I ate it all. Nope, sorry, completely on us." And they've got like a mantra when you come in on the behind the entrance thingy, and it is just that level I've not experienced for quite a while.
Yeah,
and it was super nice. Like they were falling over themselves to help you, but plus they're right by Pineapple, so half of them are dancers, half of them are actors. You knew you were going to be looked after. As soon as you walked in, you knew that you were going to be looked after. So yeah, I think that's that memorable piece is always important. Okay, best burger.
I'm not the one to comment on this because I've struggled to eat. I deconstruct all of mine, so I would say his burgers can be the best because he makes them as I like them.
I don't. If I'm not going out for something to eat, I wouldn't go out for a burger.
No.
So I would say one that I've cooked on the barbecue.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, he's a good cook.
Is he?
Yeah. And I can get all the extra pickles I want with no one looking at me like I'm a weirdo.
Nobody else is going to
I
eat
love
them.
extra pickles. So sliced pickles, right?
But you can't beat a bit of street food though, can you? And actually, you know, sadly, some of them you don't know the names of, but there's so many little street food community pop-ups happening, like from where we are. You know, they do them at the schools when there's like fireworks on, but the local community Stone Stratford have them outside the village hall where there's like 5 or 6 different vans. That's where you can get some amazing food. And just knowing those little pop-up events happen, like you want to go in there when you know, small independents are doing it well.
Yeah, I love that, and also the generation of the street food thing is just it's insane. From going from then, and then they go to events. There's one on Good Street that he's got his first bricks and mortar. It's called Baked Bird, and it's like baked not fried, and it's really cute. He's got his first proper site. He's been in like Boxhall, I think, is in, but mainly events. He's been doing events for years, and now he's got his first it's really nice to follow.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So
like
I
a proud
agree.
dad.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Okay, best hotel.
What was the one in Milan called?
I can't remember. Oh gosh, what was it called? It was
Best memories.
Which hotel would you go? We stayed at a lovely hotel in Manchester called. I'm gonna have to come back to you on what it was called.
Yeah, I'll tag them. Don't worry.
I know it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Which one was it?
It was on Canal Street, but it was really cool, really
I've got a
boutique.
clue.
He was really poorly, and they looked after us so well.
Yeah.
We were both really poorly. We had kebabs after a night out. We had 2 nights, and that night was just an absolute write-off. But they looked after us so well. I was like at the door, "Oh, can you help us?" Like first of all, starting with a bit of a hangover, and then the hangover disappears, and it was just amazing. They couldn't have been more personal with us and been like, "Can we get you anything? You know, do you want to run to the shop and get a little? You're going to be in the room for a while." All of that just happened, and it was just really unique and bespoke.
Nice. Okay. 2 questions for the next guest.
Okay, I'm going to look at my note on this one. So, okay, what is the one moment in the guest journey that most venues underestimate?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
that's good.
Have you got one?
So for me, I feel like hospitality goes in cycles all the time. 20, 30 years, snooker halls were everywhere, darts were in every pub. Now all of a sudden it's been rebranded as Compsock and it's everywhere. Yeah. So what's going to be the next? What's going to come in the next cycle?
Yeah. Oh, what do you think? That's an interesting one. In your experience? I'm throwing it back on him now. That's a really difficult one, isn't it?
So long as he doesn't throw it back to strip clubs.
Strip clubs. I don't think nightclubs are dead.
No.
But I think
I wish there was small little nightclubs.
I think that
just like that sort. Yeah.
People used to go to clubs in their little local towns where they'd meet everybody. It was a rite of passage. I don't think it will exist in the same way it did when I went and I was using someone else's ID. Because tech has stopped that. But to a degree.
My kid's now 18, but she's her driving license age she's now 22 and she's 18. So tech is good, but
it's helped. But
I think there's something to be said for the digital detox that comes through. Like everyone's kind of you got unplugged and various locations that you can go to.
I think was XOYO the one in London the guy bought, and he's done a no phone night. And that's insane. I mean, I'm like, can you imagine what that's going to be like? I'd just love to I'd go fly on the wall just to.
I think it'd be cool.
Insane.
Once upon a time, that was the norm. Like people weren't doing selfies, and people.
Yeah.
Like we love, don't get me wrong, you love the digital world.
You'd go home and you'd be stinking of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then when the cigarette ban came in, everyone else's BO was there because the smoke covered the smell. So then everyone was bringing smells into clubs, right?
Yeah.
I was there with you. I was there.
I was still at school at this point.
So
freshly cut meadow. I think it was
literally the extract that was there for the smoke became the extract for the body odor. Yeah. So and then because you'd leave and you'd be smelling of cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
And then the fresh air coming in to venues was very interesting. So I think I would love to see little pockets of like cool Compsocky nightlife.
Yeah.
So you can come in and do your VR, you can come in and do your whatever. There's a band in the corner, whatever. My local pub is cool where I live. They've got a little band in. It's cute. Like and they're there like all the time.
I think cute, but keeping quality. Like Compsock flew, right? And now competition's really high. The F&B side of Compsock can't be anything but best in class.
You're so right.
So I think it's seeing how people try and always maintain that best in class approach, which is what excites us.
So I think maybe even the food will get because you might have great Compsock, but you let down on the food, right? Some fried, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Not at Clay's.
No.
Very good.
Yeah, I've been to Clay's actually.
Yeah, it's really good. Recommend that. Yeah, really good fun.
Yeah.
And
I quite like when
delicious
we went to where was it? the one in St Mary's Axe, which was before the Compsoc thing. It was in the what's it called?
We're at Roxy's at St Mary's.
Yeah, Roxy's. That one was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a
good
cool
fun in
place.
there.
Good food, good place, good fun.
But it's
really
easy
cool
for
place.
these Compsoc places to keep popping up, and like some of them have done it. Like Flight Club, like amazing. It's a great product. But so many of them are chucking them all in and trying to make it work.
It doesn't. That's a challenge, isn't it? Going with it, stay in your lane, I guess, isn't it? Like it's difficult. You can't throw everything at it. We work with
try not to be a master.
It's hard, isn't it? I think that's another nice piece where you guys can sort of pop in and come in and have a look at it, because you can guide them in the right way, rather than going, we've got virtual darts coming in, we've got shuffleboard coming in, we've got this coming in. You're like, well, what do people want?
Yeah. Well, they go, we've got a space. We need to stick something in it. What should it be? Well, let's go back to what your brand is and what your story is, and let's see why your guests actually will be wanting to turn up.
I love that.
And it's all right putting a dartboard in, but the lighting in here is like we're walking through a hospital. We need to look at the whole.
Yeah. Like, it's interesting. All right, I'm gonna give you another round of applause. Give everyone a wave goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm hoping that one is working still. So let me do that. Thank you so much. Here we go.